Hey Steeple families, hey kids, we are up to week 2 of our study on the book of Acts. Now this week we are looking at the idea of the Holy Spirit, God's Holy Spirit. You know, in the story of Acts, we learned about how when God's disciples were praying together in the upper room, God actually sent down His Spirit that looks like tongues of fire. Show your parents your tongue. Do that. See, imagine your tongue. Well, imagine that, but on fire. It's a really weird story. But what it does tell us is that God's Spirit actually came upon the disciples when they were praying. You know, Jesus told His disciples that God's Spirit is like the wind. We can't see it, we can't hear it, we can't know where it comes and goes, but we can feel it. Ask your parents this question: what is one occasion that you've felt the Holy Spirit? What is one time they've experienced the Holy Spirit? Your parents might be able to tell you a cool story. Well, the big idea that we are learning this week is that God's Spirit helps us live as God's people. You know, in all that cool and amazing and maybe weird story, what we do learn is that God's Spirit actually helps the disciples to live out what Jesus taught them. There's a part in the book of Galatians that talks about the fruits of the Spirit. What are God's people like when they have the Holy Spirit with them? You know, when I was your age, I was taught this song to remember the fruits of the Spirit, and it goes like this. The fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. The fruits of the Spirit is faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It's a simple song that you can learn to remember what the fruits of the Spirit is like. But better yet, here's an activity for you guys to do, parents and kids, to do together during the week. For each fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, and all of them, think about an action that you can do to remember the fruit of the Spirit. Maybe love can look like this: love, or joy, or peace, patience. Come up with an activity that you can do together as a family. And during the week, when someone is not being patient or someone's not being kind, use that action to remind each other to have the fruit of the Spirit in us. If someone's not loving, show them this. Remember love. Remember the big idea that God's Holy Spirit helps us live as God's people. So how can we live by the Spirit this week? Have a think about that and do that together as a family, and I'll see you guys next week.